In this video, I'm going to explain why the time is now to start advertising on TikTok. I'll also cover what you need to know before you get started, and by the end of the video, you'll have enough information to get started with TikTok ads today. If you work agency side, this 10-minute tutorial will give you all the info you need to build a business case to pitch to your client so they want to get started with TikTok ads today. Is it time to start advertising on TikTok? You're here because you're a digital marketer working at a marketing agency or an in-house marketing team. And you're starting to ask yourself, should I start running ads on TikTok and add it to mine or my client's channel mix? Well, here's the data directly from our Looker dashboard showing the growth of TikTok advertising over the last 12 months. As you can see, just 1 year ago, there were only 907 TikTok ads connections to funnel. But just 1 year later, the number is now 4,897, almost an increase of 500% in just 12 months. Now, of course, we have some of the most data-driven marketing companies and agencies on the planet, and they're huge, big ad spenders. But what this signals to me is that you should start advertising on TikTok right now. TikTok ads are cheap. If you weren't convinced by hundreds of data-driven marketing teams deciding to run TikTok ads, I also wanted to touch on the cost. We all know Facebook ads CPMs have been gradually getting more expensive, and more advertisers try to push their products and services on the most dominant social ad platform in the world. But with TikTok's quick rise to the big leagues, they bring a new platform that is drawing users at a rapid rate, much faster than advertisers can swarm there. Now that means CPMs on TikTok are touted as being up to 20 times cheaper than across Facebook ads, meaning you might be able to get more for less. So I want to run TikTok ads. What should I do next? I thought you'd never ask. Like with any ad platform, you need to be able to track what TikTok is driving. So go ahead and install the TikTok Pixel. They make it super easy in the platform, so get that done right away. Now let's talk about targeting. You need to understand the difference between various targeting options. In TikTok, there are 10 different targeting options. Most targeting is pretty self-explanatory, but I just want to touch on the difference between behavior targeting and interest targeting. Behavior targeting is actually based on things people do. So certain behaviors place them in a bucket, and everyone in that bucket has actually done the same behavior. An example here could be that they've followed one of the largest football accounts on TikTok. You can think of it as more short-term triggers. Alex did X, so we'll target him based on that. Interest targeting, on the other hand, is based on machine learning, and people are placed into buckets because they look like they have a certain interest. An example here would be someone watching and interacting with various football-related accounts and therefore being placed into a football interest bucket. In contrast to short-term triggers, interest is more about long-term behaviors that culminates in being placed in interest buckets. Alex seems to like X, therefore you can target Alex and others in that group based on that interest. My tip for targeting on TikTok is to start broad and narrow from there. You might have hypotheses about how the platform will work based on your experience, but TikTok's a whole new beast. So avoid running with your biases, start broad, learn, and iterate. Okay, so what sort of creatives do I need? So we're at the point of this video where we need to talk about creatives. You probably want me to tell you exactly what will work on TikTok. Well, I'm no prophet, but I can give you a framework and some tips to help you build your own creative strategy. First things first. What are you using TikTok ads for? I know, very broad question, and for most people it just means to make more money. But let's go by stage of the funnel. That way you can think about what your business needs right now and how TikTok can help with that. As you can see in the framework, each stage has a corresponding goal and type of creative you should use as a result. You can use this framework to help you get started with TikTok ads and then iterate from there. Look to learn from the activity you're running. Who knows, maybe you'll even come up with a better framework on your own, and I don't know, one that's better than mine at least. Now, When it comes to TikTok, it's pretty clear that user-generated content or content that looks like user-generated content is gonna perform well. I mean, the platform isn't exactly full of TV-grade creatives, but the beauty of new platforms is that you never know what will actually do well. I suggest starting with more user-generated style content and add in something a little more slick. I mean, I'll definitely get some people saying it's a waste of money, but if you can get your slicker ads right, they might stand out from other types of creatives on the platform, so give it a whirl. I get all that, but what should my creatives actually contain? I spent some time reviewing various TikTok creatives and reading how other top creators advise structuring an ad. My only caveat is that creative is, well, creative, so allow yourself to think outside the box. Start with my structure, but allow yourself to challenge it, to think big and be an innovator. Okay, so from 0 to 5 seconds, you want to grab the audience's attention. This can be with something fun, enticing, bright, bold, or even just a bit strange, because one thing we've all learned from TikTok over the last couple of years is we all like a little bit of strange. From 5 to 10 seconds, you want to tease something you're going to give the answer to at the end of the video. This can be audio or visual, but people will actually watch a full video if you leave them wanting to know what happens at the end. From 10 to 15 seconds, tell the meat of the story. You don't have long. This is a TikTok ad, so be specific. Don't try and say every single product USP or every single benefit. Choose one, point to highlight, and make sure it hits home. Finally, from 15 to 20 seconds, answer that one thing you teased in the beginning. No one wants to leave the cinema without finding out what happens to Frodo Baggins. Imagine if we never found out if you made it to Mordor. God, I'm stressed just thinking about it. My last tip is that you need to do lots of different jump cuts. You need to zoom in, zoom out, change angle, change color, put something on screen. Literally every 1 to 2 seconds, something needs to change. That will keep the viewer's attention. Measuring success of advertising on TikTok. As always, you want to try and measure the success of any paid marketing channel. I'm not gonna dive into a video about attribution. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, you can check out the video I did about whether you really need an attribution tool. No. When thinking about measurement on TikTok, I want you to think about the efficiency of your marketing spend. In today's digital marketing landscape, your channel mix should represent what you're trying to achieve, and given that people spend their time on multiple channels and platforms, each channel definitely plays a role, but they are different. So what role will TikTok play? Going back to the goals of your ads, is it time to create demand, to drive intent, or to get in conversions? Once you know that, you can add TikTok into your dashboards. My recommendation is to look at success for each goal as the following. For driving demand, I want you to look at video play metrics. Here you don't need clicks or purchases, you need people to take note of what you're showing them. Because your video ads will vary in length, I actually suggest using the video percentage metrics highlighted in the list of video metrics available in the API. Use the percentage watch metrics to optimize your ad creation. A little data visualization tip also is put the percentage view metrics into a bar chart. That way you can easily visualize them to see the relative distribution of each, which would look something like this. Then maybe you can produce a comparison to last month and even add in a percentage change information for you to easily glance at and see what sort of improvement you've had. To drive intent, well, intent is slightly different. Here we want to try and push people to want. We want to make them interested, and we need a signal for that. Here you want to start looking at clicks. I recommend going with clicks, click-through rate, cost per action, profile visits, and total page views. Conversions. Okay, finally we have measuring conversion-focused success. This is where you can see that TikTok is really built by a Chinese company that learned from WeChat and Weibo just how powerful in-app purchasing can be. For businesses optimizing for immediate in-app conversions, such as purchases or app downloads, there is a slurry of valuable metrics measuring all the steps at the bottom of the funnel. Think of it as a mini customer journey, and think about aiming to improve the metrics at each stage of that mini journey, such as page views, add to cart, initiate purchases, and total order value of purchases. If you focus on improving each step of that mini purchase journey, you'll gradually increase the efficiency of the advertising channel. Okay, I've shown you how to get started with TikTok ads today. In a short 10-minute tutorial, I've shown you how agencies and in-house teams can get started with TikTok. Now, whether you work in-house or in an agency, you have the knowledge required to get going with TikTok right away or pitch it to your client/CMO. If you found this video useful, subscribe where you get more videos about digital marketing best practices, marketing data and analytics, and data visualization. All the great content you need to shortcut your way to being a better marketer.